All right, boys. First out of the Rough Golf Podcast, pre-Masters, boys. Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome.
What's
Happy to be here.
We got myself, Dave. We got Jimmy to my right and my brother Andrew to my left. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just going to break down, our thoughts on the Masters and who we like and who we want to win, who we think's going to win, who's got the best odds and etc. Just maybe throw out some wild takes.
You're chock full of those.
I am chock full of the wild takes. But yeah, I guess I can start it out by saying, just who the Vegas favorites are at the moment. And right now we got the boy McIlroy as a 7-1 favorite.
It's 7-1 now.
Yeah, at least at Bovada where I'm looking
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, I saw 8-1 earlier, but
Yeah.
it just when it gets that low, it takes a lot for it to change even just one digit.
Bleacher Reports on 7-1 too.
All
And
right.
I mean, I
that
think
sounds like it's it.
I think that's a pretty fair. I think Rory's probably the favorite going
Yeah, I
into
think
this.
it's understandable for him to be the favorite. I mean, he plays good at Augusta. He just hasn't won.
Yeah, he plays really good at Augusta. He just kind of has a problem closing at Augusta.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're being honest, it was still an uphill battle for him to win last year. I get it. He didn't make a run at it, but he started 3 down.
Yeah, he just kind of collapsed within the first few holes, which is
Yeah,
not
there
what
was
you want to see.
the big miss right on the first hole wasn't the best omen for that final round.
No, not at all.
But I
He
like
feels
mean-
good.
I like his chances.
He feels
mean,
good. That's
so
why
Rory-
he's favored, obviously.
2014 T8, 2015 T4, 2016 T10, 2017 T7, and then last year T5. So the guy, is pretty much top 10 machine when it comes to Augusta.
And I think you could make an argument that he's in the best form he's ever been in.
Yeah, I think what was it? You said 5 top 10 finishes.
Well, he just since
In a
14,
row?
he's finished in the top 10 every time. So, I mean, he's definitely. I would imagine he's going to be in the mix this year, and I mean, it very well makes sense that he is the favorite going into it.
Who's number 2 on the favorite list?
Number 2 is the boy Tiger Woods. I think we all could see that coming. That's just because, partially because people always bet on Tiger. So Vegas.
Yeah, it's money that influences it.
Yeah.
So whether you think he's the second favorite or not, you have a large base of people that are Tiger fans that are going to bet on him, and that's going to skew the results.
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
I'm
if we-
scattered. I've got DJ at number 2 at 9-1.
What I looked at on
what is
the
that for?
Vegas
Bleacher
Insight,
Report.
Okay.
what I looked at today, earlier, around this morning, I ended up seeing DJ at 10-1 being second, and Justin Rose being after
Oh yeah,
him.
wait.
Yeah.
I'm mistaken. Jimmy was right. It's DJ's number 2 at 10-1. I was going down. They have this going side to side, so my mistake.
Yeah, they got DJ, Justin, Tiger,
Yeah.
John.
Yeah. So
Spain.
DJ's 10-1 second, and then Justin Rose is 14-1, and then so is Tiger.
Tiger's at 14-1 as well.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is a realistic odds for Tiger?
I just don't know how he's feeling. He's
I mean,
he's hit or miss.
if you look,
seems he's been hot lately. He's been playing well, but you never know when he's going to show up and be hurt or not be 100%. You know what I mean?
it's kind of like Roy.
Can't
He
blame him.
always plays well at Augusta for the most part, except for, even last year he tied for 32nd. Which isn't awful.
For his
but,
first major back, having only played a few events.
yeah.
After that, yeah.
But I mean, if you look at
loves
Tiger's
Augusta, though.
finishes at Augusta, starting with 1997 when he first won, it's first T8, T18, fifth, first, 15.
Those back-to-backs
22nd,
in
first.
2001 and 2002.
You know what we have to remember, though, when we're reading these off for the Masters, is that the field is so small that doesn't mean nearly as much as if you got T32 at the U.S. Open or the Players or something like that. The field
Yeah,
is
it's a lot
only
more narrow.
it's less than 90 guys this year. A bunch of those are just past champions or amateurs that you can't really say have a reasonable chance of doing it, except for Hovland and maybe Kanaya. Getting a T32 at the Masters doesn't mean the same thing. Not to disparage Tiger, he has more. You got to weigh in experience and course knowledge and just having won there 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's comfy on the course.
I mean,
that's
regardless, like out of all those
but
finishes, I was saying like 2006, third, second, sixth, fourth, 40th, fourth, 17th, and then last year 32. Like they're all up there.
I mean, it should be said that Tiger was in the mix when Spieth won it. Like, and he was dealing with a bunch of back issues and stuff, and like there was a chance that he could have made a run. Like, you can't ever count him out. But my question was, what's his realistic odds in your head?
Okay, so
where does he fall?
If I'm trying to give him a realistic odds, I think he's probably, I think 14-1 is a little low, but I think it'd be like right where, the Mole and Koepka are, like right around 22 to 25-1.
At 20-1, I'd feel comfy there.
Yeah, where does that set him up, like on rankings though? Like, is he in the top 10 favorites for you, or?
That's right around 10.
Yeah, it's on the cusp.
Right around 10.
And that sounds right to you guys? You
think so.
There's only 9 guys that have a better chance than him at winning the Masters?
I think there's really, like, realistically, like,
if he's on, yeah.
Wait, if he's on, only 9 people can beat him?
If he's on, I think he. I mean, I definitely.
I feel like that number's a lot lower if he's on, but. Damn,
wow.
My bad, guys.
It's all good. The gain is a little high right now.
Yeah.
But, I think he's got a good shot. You can't ever count him out. I think there's a realistic 20 to 25 people that have a good shot to win this week. And then there's you can, weed out quite a few people. Like first-time players in the Masters don't really end up I think there was one person that's won the first time they've played. But yeah, so you could weed them out. You could weed out most of the amateurs don't have a chance in winning. Not saying that's not possible. I'm just saying, like, when you're looking.
I legitimately think Hovland has a chance. Like, I'd honestly do. That kid's a baller. I wouldn't put him in, the top 30 of like people that could win it, because course knowledge is such a big deal. But like, that kid's just got such an arsenal. And like his game's so well rounded. Like he's just a stud, man.
He fucking bombs it too. Like,
yeah, like I mean, all the young guns now do.
Yeah, and Augusta is a course where the long ball helps out a lot.
Yeah, and there's tons of rain this year, so like it's gonna be playing soft, which helps Rory too.
It helps all the long hitters.
Yeah,
I mean, and
I wonder how firm the greens are gonna be. Like, is it gonna be an issue holding stuff? I mean, like, I doubt it with how much.
Watching the women's amateur or whatever, I mean, I'm not sure how similar the conditions are gonna be, but they didn't seem like super hard, the greens,
No, I mean, I don't know how much. Yeah, that can really be like a kind of an indicator of what it's going to be like for the guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that weather makes me like think it's even more possible for Rory. Like, just
to play through it.
Yeah, well, he just is. He's historically great on softer conditions, and I mean, I'm just pulling for him.
That's who you want to win is Rory.
You're feeling Rory.
That's who you put your bread and butter on.
I don't know. I like legacy and I like history, like in the sense of like I like when something is monumental. So like I'm rooting for the Grand Slam.
It would be fun to watch.
The career Grand Slam would be sweet. Like I want something to like big to happen.
So
like
so either Rory or Tiger. Those are two like the big monumental.
Yeah, those would be or Hovland. Yeah. That I would. The last person to win the Masters that was the reigning USAM.
Who's that?
Bobby Jones, probably? No.
Tiger.
Oh, Tiger.
97.
I guess Bobby Jones never even played in the Masters. Huh?
No, he started it.
Yeah, he started it and played it. But yeah.
But yeah, so that would be really cool too. And like I'm rooting for like all the slams this year. Actually, I'm not rooting for Phil Slam this year because only one other person ever won the U.S. Open 3 times in a row, and I want Brooksy to win it 3 times in a row.
Oh, I'd love to see.
Because the last time that happened was like 1905.
Was that Jack who did that?
No, only one.
Hogan?
Or did Hogan? I think it's been a long ass time. No one that's still alive. I don't think. I don't even think Hogan did it. It was some guy that like at the turn of the century that did it. I don't know his name. It was like maybe like during World War I or something. Like,
well, Dave and I had to hold our tongues earlier today, or was it yesterday, on Jordan Spieth playing at the Masters, and if he's gonna pull out of his little funk here at his favorite little course.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a 3-hour podcast just talking about Jordan at the Masters. There's so much to unpack. Because it's pretty. I feel like it's pretty straightforward, like what to say about someone like Rose or Rory about the Masters. Like their history there seems pretty like consistent. Like they're close. Like they're always like knocking on the door, but no one's dealt with like Jordan Spieth has like a career already at like Augusta. Heartbreak, the win, like he's gone through everything someone could go through at Augusta. Yeah. And that can only harden a man at this point.
Could hope. I'd like to see him play good.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
tired of seeing him.
I'm pulling for Jordan and Ricky. Those are the two guys that I want to see.
Yeah, with the first episode, we might as well address the elephant in the room. Is just like, I don't think we can go into any week where Dave's like, yeah, Ricky, I gotta pull for Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Rick fan and not afraid to say it.
The boy Rick, always pressed to win.
But I mean, man, he got second last year. Who's to say he can't come home and win it this year? He's got a win at Waste Management this year. His game's looking pretty good. And
I think he's I would put him above Tiger as likelihood of winning. I think he's one of those 9 that you guys were saying above him of likelihood of winning. Like Ricky, I think has a great chance. I think he's on form right now. I think his, he had ups and downs this last week in Valero, but I think it was just the right amount of golf before the Masters, and Valero didn't play how they wanted it to play with the weather that happened for them to like actually get real prep for Augusta.
Yeah, the weather definitely over the weekend kind of fucked up the whole vibe of the tournament a little bit. But
yeah, and I just don't think I think for any guys that were going there to like kind of get a little bit of prep for it in the same way that some guys went to the Houston Open, the grass types kind of like lend themselves to being helpful before the Masters. I just don't quite see that working out for them with how the weather was.
Yeah,
but
dry to wet.
I mean, Spieth's putter was looking pretty hot though, which is a good thing to see.
He had 7-1 putts on the back 9.
Yeah, and his putter is what won him his Masters before, and that's what his putter is. When it's hot, that's what makes him a potential winner.
It's dangerous.
But the problem is that his ball striking was not what his putter was.
No, and you definitely need to strike the ball well at Augusta.
Especially when it's going to be wet. That means your ball's not going to be rolling out as far. You're going to have longer irons into things.
Yeah, but I still feel like when Jordan does start putting good, he knows it, obviously, and something turns on in him. You know what I mean? He plays just so much better when his putting is in tune.
I think Augusta just brings out the greatness in Jordan. Like, he can be having like a horrible year or a horrible year up until the Masters, and then just he gets to Augusta and it just brings something out in him,
I mean, Thursday last year he got an early lead. He was like 9 under after the first day. Actually, that's not true. It wasn't 9 under.
What if he just like won the Masters? He just didn't win any tour events. Dave and I were cracking up
today.
Just
pull a Brooks, but like only with the Masters.
Only wins the Masters.
I mean,
every couple of years.
He's gonna have multiple green jackets in his closet. I can say that much.
Yeah.
When he's done with his golf career, he'll have plenty of green jackets in his closet. My curiosity is who, like, we're talking about the guys who are like obvious, like we're talking about the Spieths, the Tigers, the Justin Roses.
I've got 2 that I think are little sleepers, and that's the Mole, obviously, and then Tommy Fleetwood.
Can you really call either of them sleepers?
I mean, in terms of how many people are riding up into this tournament, and yeah, I can. For a win, for Pose to win, yeah. I'm not talking about top 10s. I'm talking about I think they have a chance to, if they stay consistent, one of them. The Mole's hot right now, and so is Tommy.
No, I agree. I think they both have great chance. I think you can make an argument that Francesco Molinari is the best golfer right now. Like,
yeah, potentially.
Like, honestly, like after Mexico, like once kind of DJ cooled down a little bit, and Rory's kind of like got like cooled down a little bit after the Players. Molinari is just so impressive. Like, and he's gotten that little bit extra distance now too that he didn't have before. That's going to be really helpful at Augusta.
Yeah, he's nails. Like,
Yeah,
he
like
hits fairways and he hits greens, and what more can you ask for? Like,
And-
if the putter's hot, like, it's going to be hard to beat him.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the Open was all the validation that guy could ever need to like say
as
that
far
like
as confidence goes,
Yeah.
too, like, okay, I can do it and beat the best guys in the world.
yeah, like the people that he beat that day. He beat Spieth, who you expect to be like a contender at Augusta always. He was paired with Tiger, beat him, and then Rory was also in the mix at the Open as well, and he beat him too. So like, I don't think he's gonna, be wary when people flex on him. Like, I think at the end of the day, like Molinari is to me, in my head, I don't think he's a dark horse at all. I think he should be in the conversation for most people. He just isn't a huge name. But I don't.
Yeah.
But I think when I think of
Well,
dark horses, I think of people that like.
He's still got a good field ahead of him, I would say. I mean,
I
I know he's hot right now, but he's still got a good group of guys ahead of him that have played this course a lot more and that have a little bit more experience, I think.
I think he's just a different player than he was because he's played this course a bunch, and he hasn't had the history that you'd want. But I just think he's a completely different player than he was
3 years ago, 4 years ago.
or even like
Yeah.
just 2 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, another
No,
one.
he's come up.
Another big dog that usually plays well at Augusta is the boy Leash, and I don't think you can ever count him out at Augusta. It seems like he's always in the mix when it comes to the weekend at Augusta, and he just pulls off some insane shots out there too.
Yeah, I mean, I still think back on 15 from last year all the
That
time.
the big fucking draw he hit in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, around the trees.
yeah,
was
that
insane.
that was so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't ever count him out. I think that's the big thing about this course in general is that like, even if someone's not quite on form, like that like they can turn on for the Masters. Like Leash, like I can't have anything that's jumping out to me right now like what he's done this year, but like at no point would I feel like that gives me any less confidence that he could pull it off here. Whereas other guys that like haven't shown the form at Augusta but have been playing well recently, I'd be like, yeah, but you just haven't played that well at Augusta though, and that worries me. Like JT like hasn't had the best history at Augusta. Like he's always playing well at the PGA, but you could make an argument that he's also the best player in the world right now too, and like, but he's never shown any semblance that he's going to get it done at Augusta. As much as I'd want to see him kind of continue the kind of the climb to what Jordan Spieth has accomplished, just because that conversation, that storyline's so cool. Nothing has given me an indication that he's going to go off there.
Yeah.
You just never know, man. It's a crazy.
Because his game
It's
makes
wild.
sense for it. Like he's
Well,
got everything.
And even just at the tournament itself, like Patty Reed won last year. Not to say he's not a great golfer, he is, but
Yeah, if anyone shows up for 4 rounds, man.
and yeah.
But the
it's
crazy
there.
thing about Patrick Reed is that like he won that tournament from the par 5s. Like he was just unbelievable at scoring on the par 5s, and his putter was hot. Like usually guys are winning by like separating themselves at playing the par 4s well, where the guys aren't scoring.
Well,
but like
a lot of people kind of fell off too. I'm trying to.
What, last year?
Yeah.
I mean Rory being one of them.
Towards.
But I mean, Patrick Reed started Sunday with a 3-shot lead from Rory, who was the person closest to him. Like he had a huge gap. Like he shot 1 under on Sunday, like 71 or something like that. Like
One
he didn't.
under,
Yeah.
Yep. He
It
finished
wasn't
15
great.
under.
Yeah,
And then Rick was behind him with a 5 under round at 14 under. And then Spieth
I know, almost shooting the course record
tied the actual course record.
by bogeying.
Yeah. And he also had
Actually,
that-
did he still tie it even with the bogey?
Yeah, he tied it.
Oh.
9 under would have been the course record. Like, it would
Yeah.
have been his standalone course record. And then he also missed that eagle putt on 13, was it?
Yeah.
Which was a relatively easy putt for an eagle putt. He said he has seen that putt, many times, and it breaks a little to the right. It just didn't for him, so I don't know.
Yeah. That's the thing too, is that like you can only go off of like your history at Augusta too. That's why it's so hard for like rookies and amateurs to like win there, is that like you learn that course from playing it, not from like reading it by looking at it. Like you learn it the greens, how they break and stuff like that from your past experiences and how it's worked for you in the past. Like, it has nothing to do with like that moment because it's like so deceptive for so many people. So that's why I feel like you got to give a lot of like credence to the guys that have been playing there for a long time that have had good finishes over time too.
Well, and it's a big stage too. You know what I mean? Going there a few times and having that, you know, that experience and understanding like, okay, it's another golf tournament. It's time to, you know, just knuckle down, like you said, play good 4 rounds. You know, guys who are just getting there or, you know, haven't had as much experience, I'm sure it's a little nerve-wracking.
Absolutely.
You know, you're at the Masters on the first tee box, and they call your name, and, I mean, I'm sure there's that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's debatably
knee cracking together.
I would imagine it's, you know, besides like the Ryder Cup or something, like it's one of the most nerve-wracking tournaments just for the prestige and the fact that you're at Augusta
and it's it. Like, you are here and with, you know, best of the best, it's time to prove your worth. That's got to be a
Yeah.
little shaky.
What
you
about
got a dark horse, Dave? Jimmy came with the most.
The most light dark
I
horse.
wouldn't,
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him a dark horse, but I think he can play. Well, I know he can play well at the course, and I'm talking about a little guy called Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, Mr. Science.
I mean, his first showing as an amateur, he played really well.
Wasn't that his best showing too, though?
I think it is, but he's also coming off of an insane last year. He came into a new realm for himself. Like, I just think he's definitely got a little more.
I'm just worried
confidence.
about him on the greens there because he was dead last or like second to last in putting last year. Like, he just couldn't get anything to go into the hole once he was on the green.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He had that hot run at the end during the playoffs last year, and you know, I think he found a little something then, whether it be confidence-wise or he started putting like Kuchar. You know,
Oh yeah, what? Yeah, I wonder when that started.
definitely not at the Masters. He was putting more conventional or.
I wish he was side saddling all over that place.
Yeah, I
That'd be
wish he would have kept the side saddle going.
Man, people got to ran that
That's
parade,
a new
man.
thing.
That's the one thing I will respect about him is that he's out there tinkering, man. He's out there trying to get creative and figure out ways to push the envelope of what he can do.
That's what Dave and I were talking about the other day. There was that little controversial tweet. I forget the player who had tweeted it out about him, but something about somebody had commented about the one length irons, and the player had come back and he said something along the lines of, you know, this guy wins a couple tournaments. Why don't we talk about all the thousands of people who have really won tournaments with regular irons over the last few years?
Yeah, and then I
like
came
that,
back
so.
saying that the percentage of people playing with variable length irons compared to the one guy winning,
Oh yeah, it's
winning
totally
with
different.
single length irons.
There's
Let's go
only
to
one
where
guy
he
really
started
doing it.
playing in the PGA Tour and see the percentage of wins compared to the variable length
Right.
irons and the amount of people on variable length irons.
Right.
Like
no,
there's something
like
to
I
be
said,
said about
it was a controversial tweet, but to your point, he is tinkering and things are working for him.
Yeah, I mean, he found something, man.
He's doing different stuff. He's sciencing the hell out of it, and it's working for him.
Yeah, dude, he's working his ass off. That's
Yeah.
for damn sure. Like, just like, was it at the Open last year when like he had his kind of like driving range meltdown?
Yeah.
Like, that dude cares. He cares a lot.
He
Like, there's a lot of guys who be like,
Yeah.
oh, whatever, man. I made 150 grand this week. Like, whatever. Let's get on the jet and get out of here. Like, but he was like, till like dark. He was just
No, he wants
working
to
on
figure
it.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as like I don't get down with a lot of his personality, I can respect that much. That's
Yeah, it means he cares.
Yeah.
You know, he cares. You know, he wants to be one of the best. You know, and I like that. And I wouldn't necessarily like. He's obviously not a dark horse, but I think that's someone that could
He's not
surprise people
At the top of the list.
Yeah, I mean he's top 10 in the world.
Yeah,
Like
I think he's 6. or
yeah,
something.
like hardly a dark horse, guys. Like, I
Yeah.
want to see us get to the depths
I
here.
get it, but
So
coming into the Masters, he's not. I mean, let's see where he's ranked at.
he's 6th. Bryson's 6th in the world.
Yeah. I mean that's what you said. You're right.
Yeah, but he's 12th in odds. I mean, it's different coming into each tournament. You know what I mean? He maybe.
I mean,
yeah, but my point is
like
that like
DJ's second in the world, but
I mean,
I mean,
Cameron
second on
Smith
the odds, but
does
he's not.
usually.
yeah,
play
that
pretty well.
that to me is a great dark horse. Like that's someone who like you could ask 100 people on the street like who they think is going to win the Masters, and like I don't know if anyone will say Cameron Smith to them.
But he usually is in the mix.
And
at
that's why I think it's like it's an intelligent and like good dark horse, because like, oh yeah, he does play great there.
Yeah.
Like, we're actually right in the middle of the Charlie Hoffman swing right now.
He usually plays good at the
he's
Masters,
he's
too.
a Thursday he's a
Yeah.
Thursday round hero, man. He's always
Yeah.
a burner on that first round. Like the Charlie Hoffman swing is Texas events and then the first day of the Masters, and then it quickly stops becoming the Charlie Hoffman swing. But I'll give him that, man. He's got to have like some of the best first round scoring like
at Augusta.
At Augusta. Like if Charlie Hoffman was Charlie Hoffman on Thursday, all the days he would have like 8 green jackets.
I mean, he is a waste management guy, so green does look good on him.
It does.
But yeah, I mean, you can't count. Yeah, Cameron Smith, I think, is a good dark horse if we're talking dark horses.
Also, Charlie Hoffman just got second at the Valero, looking real good. He
Did
was
he?
playing his game. Yeah, he got second.
He made a charge on Sunday, right? Or was it?
He was in the
Saturday?
final group.
Yeah.
Him, Siwoo Kim, Big Woo Woo, and Corey Connors.
Yeah, Corey Connors charged it.
That was a psycho final round.
Yeah, he had a lot of bogeys on the front.
He had 2 pars,
Yeah.
and he shot a 66.
Crazy. Birdie rattling off birds. What about Stenson?
I was just about to say the boy Henrik is.
Yeah, he
He's
usually
liking
plays
himself.
pretty good at Augusta, too.
Does he?
Yeah, I think if I look back, I have last year's and the year before's results right here. And so in 17, Stenson, I guess he really just did good last year. He finished T5 last year, Stenson. But he's just a ball striker.
I got him right here. So last year T5 and then T62 before that, which is essentially last at the Masters.
Yeah, that's showing.
T24, T19, T14. So there's some top 20s in there. Like there's a good stretch from 13 to 16, and then he had his off year on 17, and then 18 looked great. So yeah, not a bad choice. And he looked great at the match play too. He looked solid.
It looked like he was going to make a run for it. I mean,
Hey, Kisner's off a win.
Kisner, I don't think has the length for Augusta. I wouldn't count him out. I'm just saying I don't think he has the length.
It also doesn't help that it's going to be soft.
Yeah.
Hey.
Augusta is a course where you need to hit the ball long, man. You don't need to, like people say, well, what about Zach Johnson?
He was a sleeper for me. I mean, he's a good golfer, but he was still a sleeper for me, and I like the guy.
Oh, I love
I
Kisner.
think he could be another
It would require him to putt his ass off.
Yeah. Which he is
which
a great
he was
putter.
doing. I mean,
But Augusta's a
He's
different
feeling
story.
it.
You need to be able to bomb the ball, and especially if
Yeah.
it's going to be wet. And they'll say, "Well, what about Zach Johnson? He laid up on all the par fives and won."
The exception proves the rule.
Well, no, you got to take into consideration during that Masters, it was like 40 or 50 degrees out, so no one was really hitting it very far, and the weather wasn't very good. So people were laying up on the par fives anyways. So Zach Johnson got a wedge in his hand on the par fives, which he's great at, and just did his thing. It seemed like everything aligned perfectly for him that given year, But ordinarily, the conditions aren't going to suit the shorter hitters at Augusta.
Yeah, and like what I was trying to say is that like the fact is that like that's the only one that you can think of too. So like that just kind of is like a better example of like why it's so rare that something like that. Like we're not saying like it's impossible. The point is that like it's unlikely. In the same way that like you tend to see people that play draws play better there, and guys that are left-handed that can play fades and control the
Like
fade
Bubba.
spin. Yeah, and Phil who has 3 green jackets. That's the thing is like there's a little bit of benefit to those guys that can play that shape.
Definitely.
That like helps them out, and the issue is that like I'm kind of worried that Rory may not have as good of a chance this year because he's been playing a fade a little bit this year too. Like, and that's been working for him on most other tour event courses. But I'm hoping he's going to bring back the draw for this event because he needs
He's
to.
got that draw with the driver when he wants it. For sure.
I think so too, and that's why I want him to win, and I think he's the favorite. Like I really do.
So does Vegas.
I mean, but it's because he's been a machine, dude. Like
He's on it. He is.
if we take this for like
on it.
he's top 5 so many times this year, and the fact of the matter is that like we overrate winning so much, and if you just think about it week by week, like that means Rory's only losing to 4 people a week when you have fields of over 150.
Yeah, he's right there.
Like if you just look at like
skin of the
Sagarin
teeth
rankings,
every
like
time.
he's nuts. Like
Yeah, I have the Sagarin right here. As of the, I think it's as of right before match play. I took these screenshots, but I mean Rory's right there, number 2 behind Dustin Johnson, and then it goes Rick, JT, Tiger, Justin Rose, Bryson DeChambeau, Tony Finau. You know,
Tony Finau, also a guy we need to talk about. He's a major machine. That guy's always getting top 5s in majors. Did he top 5 every major last year?
I
Maybe not
couldn't tell you
PGA.
that off the top of my head, but what I do know is that he hasn't been in the same form as he has been last
that
year.
was last year.
Like I loved him.
I mean, you can say the same thing about Bryson. That
Sure.
he's not in the form he was last year,
Sure.
but you think he's a great chance there.
I do, but Bryson also won several tournaments last year. Tony Finau didn't.
But he's had more. He was in a playoff with Xander in China for the win, and that was more recent than Bryson's stuff.
But he didn't.
Once again, I think winning is overrated. Like the point is that like he's been in the mix at more majors than Bryson has.
But yeah, but we're talking about winners.
I mean,
know.
that's all.
Yeah,
that's
but
all
you
good.
I don't
you
think
don't
he-
win until you put yourself in position enough times to give you a chance to win.
That is true.
Like
And I mean-
he's
don't
been
think he's
close
got it.
enough.
Finau got T10 last year
he's
on a
got it.
fucking broken ankle, essentially. If
That
you
was
remember that
ridiculous when he like celebrated and
at the par 3 contest. But yeah, I mean that's incredible in itself that he played that well with the.
And he's
messed up
also,
ankle.
dude, he's long. Like
Yeah.
that. I mean,
he's a big dude.
I'm not saying you can't count the guy out. Like I think, yeah, he
Yes,
definitely
you
can be in the
can.
mix, but I just don't think he's in the form he was last year right now. But yeah, like you said, you can say that about a lot of people.
yeah. I think he's kind of like Koepka-esque. Like he performs like better under like the pressure of a major. Like he's just has shown up. And I think harder conditions, while that may not be Augusta this week with just how the weather's been, like I think he just rises to the challenge of like tough conditions too. Like he played great at Shinnecock. Like I think he's a baller, and I think
He's definitely a baller.
Yeah.
No one's arguing
I
that.
just don't think he's got. I don't. Yeah, I just don't think he's a winner.
All right. Well, then who's your pick, Jimmy? Who do you think's taking this thing home?
Taking it?
Yeah.
Oh hell.
Well, who's your favorite to win it?
Yeah, I guess who do you want to win? Who you think's gonna win? You can say 2 different people if you need to hedge your bets.
All I have to say is
Think.
fuck Jason Day. And that's it.
Hot take. I feel like there's some history there, Dave. You wanna elaborate?
I'll unbox that some other time, but yeah.
Well, yeah, like we said, I'd like to see Jordan or Tiger win. Rory winning would be awesome. I think Rory's gonna win. Just like we're saying, he's just in the zone right now. He's long enough. He's gonna feel it out. But yeah, I'd like to see Tiger or Jordan win. Jordan just because I'd like to see him get back on it, and Tiger just because.
The crazy thing is that the thing is that if Jordan wins it, that doesn't make me any more convinced that he's back. Like,
No.
'cause
No, it doesn't.
no,
It
not at
doesn't.
all.
But that I want to see him win just the Masters every year, or like every couple years, and like I know that sounds.
What was
terrible,
the
but
take that
that'd
you
be
stopped
hilarious.
saying last night at ABGB that about Jordan? You're like, I know that you want him to win, or because you're like, but I'll save it for tomorrow night.
Oh hell, I don't remember anymore.
Well, with that, okay, but anyways, who, if you're looking at Vegas odds or whatever, who do you think is a good person to put your money on that could be worth it? You know, like that has a high out. Like if they win, you're gonna make a ton of bank. You know,
Justin Rose, Rory, and Justin Thomas. I like those.
Justin
three.
Rose is 14-1. That's not necessarily a lot of bang for your buck.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm saying, like,
I mean, if he
three.
thinks he's gonna win it, though, like it's
yeah, but you know, that's
14-1
like
is not
saying
jump.
Rory.
I would say
You know.
Tommy.
But that's a testament to how good he is. He'd be like, dude, I actually think 8-1's a great value for Rory right now. He should honestly be 2-1.
See, I'm looking at like Sergio, like at 50-1. He's won at
Kuchar's
Augusta
in his head,
before.
man. Kuchar's still in his head.
God.
Sergio's a fucking head space crazy man, anyways, all the time. I think that
Head space
yeah,
crazy. Yeah, hold on. This is my first time kind of looking at these in a while, so
I mean, Cameron Smith is 80-1. Like that could be someone you put like.
see, I'm looking at something different. I'm looking at Vegas Insider, which has him at 66-1. But I mean, both of those are still a good bargain. I mean, guys, maybe this is the year where he extends it for all 4 days, and you take Charlie Hoffman for 100-1.
Maybe
Dude, I mean, I might go as far as just put down. I'll put
it's
down.
100-1. What you're looking at?
Will a Vegas establishment let me put 50 cents down on him, and if he wins, I get $50? I'll do it. I got 50 cents in my pocket.
That's worth it.
I mean, I'm gonna lose this in the wash anyway, so I might as well put it on the boy Hoff. I like Cantley at 70-1. He did miss the cut last year, which is not a great indicator, but I love his game. I think he won't let that bother him. He's been through too much to let a miscut like get in his head about it. He's played good in the past. I think he's a great one.
I think Xander might be one. I got him down here at 40-1.
Yeah, me
and
too.
The dude can play some golf.
Yeah, I think 40-1.
winner.
I think 40-1 is actually like a reasonable like I think it's a good value, even though I still think that's pretty realistic for him to be at that number. Because I think there's a world where they would be like Xander's 50-1 or 30-1. Like I think that's his window there.
The boy Adam Scott is also at 40-1, and he's gone with the old Kuchar putting method now, which a lot of people have gone to, and it's helped him out. And if Adam Scott can get the putter going, like he can roll with the best of them, So, and he's won there before. He's a great ball striker. Like I don't think you can count him out.
I really do think that long iron play is going to be a premium this week. So you look for guys that can strike their long irons because it's going to be wet, so things aren't going to be rolling out as far.
Boy Stenson.
They're gonna have to extend themselves.
Yeah, like so I honestly like guys like Matthew Fitzpatrick. He's not very long, so he's great with his longer irons. He had a run, I think 2017, where he was in the mix in the top 10. He's 100-1. Like I'm trying to go like pretty far down the list and see like who's got a chance at this that's like a bit further down there. Like I don't want to say like Fleetwood's a bargain at 125-1, like, and he's a ball striker. Like of course he is, but I don't consider him to be like a guy you're like, who's probably not betting on this guy right now? Like let me give you some inside knowledge about why the barn rat at 250-1 is going to be the guy you want to go with.
If the wind's blowing, he's going to have an advantage over everybody.
Because he's going to be grounded. He's got the right.
No, he's going to.
He's got the mass holding him in
He's going
place.
to be vaping,
And he's got
He's got
gonna
no
have-
wind.
Yeah, wind direction and speed. I would watch out for that guy.
The
If the
PGA
wind's
needs
blowing.
to get a ruling on vapes on the course.
They ought to.
That's an advantage that the old players had when they were smoking cigarettes on the course. They
Yeah.
would blow their smoke out and know the way the wind was blowing.
And now the barn rat has just.
Old Arnie,
I mean, do we think
Stats
that's like a
that
better
low.
indicator for
Just
wind than
walking.
just like doing the grass? Like,
I definitely do. It's like a big cloud. You can see it
Oh,
for
dude!
sure.
When
Like
I just.
I mean,
know
I
exactly
get it,
where
but
the
like,
wind's
I just
going.
don't know
And
anyone
speed,
who's
too.
like
Like I
doing
said.
grass and be like, you know what? I just wish I had a vape cloud right now. This just isn't giving me enough info. Because at the end of the day, like that's not even what the wind's actually doing up there. Like you're looking at treetops more than you're like.
Well, that's why it's better than grass because you can watch the cloud rise.
What
You
about
can
the
view
senior
multiple
division,
levels,
boys?
Levels of
What's that?
wind.
what about the senior division? Who do we think
Out
out of the seniors
the-
out there are gonna?
You think
place
Faldo's
the
going to
highest?
step out of the booth and give it a shot?
No. But
Dude,
we do have the boy Bernhard Langer, and we got the boy Larry Mize.
Dude,
is Freddie playing this year? again?
guys. We're going VJ.
VJ.
Oh,
yeah.
VJ.
The boy
Sing.
VJ.
He
He
already
showed
played
some
well.
form, man.
Man, he was a good player back in the day.
He's still a great player.
I mean, yeah. But
I mean, he literally was in contention at Arnie's place, right? Was that where he was in contention this year?
VJ Singh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Oh yeah, Freddie is playing. 500 to 1. Throw down a buck, win 500.
Yeah, if you had to pick a vet, who's the vet that you're picking? I mean, I'm okay. I got an idea. We're gonna do low vet.
Freaking Poulter.
He's not a vet. Like not like a like. We're talking guys that like
You're
are
talking
are
old,
right.
okay.
Just they could either be on the Champions Tour or they are about to be on the Champions Tour.
Jesus.
Like Freddie Couples he's already won on the Champions Tour. VJ, I think he'll be on the Champions Tour next year. He's like
Angel
49.
Cabrera Bale. Or not Cabrera Bale, but Angel Cabrera.
I think we should go with a low vet, and then we should go with a low rookie and see who's right.
I think it's easy to say Victor Hovland, low AM.
I didn't say low AM,
rookie?
low rookie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not much of a fight in the AMs. Like
Yeah.
Kanaya and Hovland are the guys that are going
I
to be.
think Connors is on form since the win last week. He's got a lot of fucking, confidence coming off a win, Monday qualifying for that win in itself. Too.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be
And he's
on
had to,
cloud nine being at Augusta.
Yeah.
Like I won last
but is he going to be
week,
drained from it, you think?
Boy, Bernhard.
potentially, but I don't know. Then there's Keith Mitchell. I don't know.
Does
Rookie's
Phil
hard.
count?
What about Aaron Wise? Aaron Wise is
I think
it's
he's
his first at Masters, right?
Yeah. I think it's
Beer Gardens first.
Matt Wallace.
Masters.
I think it's Matt Wallace's first Masters
Uh-huh.
as well. He won 3 times last year.
I'm gonna go with Corey Connors as low rookie. That's just what I think.
I'm going to go Hovland.
So you're taking an AM as the rookie?
I think if I have a long shot pick for this thing, I think he's going to do what Tiger did. He's going to win the Masters while also being the reigning U.S. Amateur winner. He won at Pebble Beach last year.
But didn't Tiger played in '96 and then won in '97? Was he the reigning amateur?
Yeah,
when he won
he
in
was the
97?
reigning U.S. Am winner
Okay.
in '97. Because the USAM is after it, so he won it in '96, and then he played the Masters before the next USAM.
Okay.
In the same way that Hovland won the USAM last year, but he's the reigning USAM for this Masters. So he didn't win it in '97, he won it in
when
'96.
Tiger won, he was in '97. He was professional, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he won the '96 USAM at TPC Sawgrass too. That one where he was wearing the straw hat
Yeah,
and the red striped shirt.
that was a good look.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
I was down with that. He made a comeback during that USAM too. He was like down 6 or something like that, and came back and won it within the last like 8 holes, something nuts like that. I remember watching that thing again right before the Players.
Yeah. So
You got a
my
low rookie, Jimmy.
My rookie is probably Corey Connors
I would take Corey Connors. I was just looking at Devin Bling.
for amateurs.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got
19.
fucking smoked by Hovland at Pebble.
did he?
I honestly wish they put out like the AMs that I think would actually have like a really great chance. So I would love to see Matthew Wolff there.
God,
would
I
be
would love
fun.
to see Matthew
Yeah.
Wolff there too.
He's now
That
number
kid.
1 AM. In the
well,
world.
he's on a hot streak. Like
Yeah, but he just took it from Hovland.
They're teammates as well.
Yeah. I would love to see Cole Hammer there. That kid's a stud. Marikawa, that kid's good too. He's having an unreal season, but because Matthew Wolff's going off, no one knows. Like if Matthew Wolff wasn't going crazy, everyone would be talking about Colin.
Yeah.
But you went Corey Connors too, Jimmy.
Yeah.
We got a low vet. I got VJ.
I think that's a really good choice. I'm going to go out on a limb and just say the boy Bernhard.
Dude, that's where I was headed.
The boy Bernhard is...
Does Phil count?
Nah.
I mean,
He's won on tour this year.
he's a vet.
He's won
He's a
back-to-back
solid
years.
vet. I'm taking Phil. He's a vet.
I don't
He
count Phil
falls
as in the vet division.
No, you can't do that because
How?
you could say Tiger's a vet. Like
He is. I'm choosing Phil.
I think that
I don't
doesn't
respect the
count.
pick.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think Phil is in that at all. That conversation.
I would.
Well,
He
I'm
picked
searching.
Vijay
I'm
Singh and I
searching.
picked
I'm searching
fucking
over
Bernhard
because I
Langer.
had
I just-
Bernhard
I
Langer.
think
I
he
mean, we
qual-
could
okay,
rewind it.
You know,
and I
the, you
popped
know the,
in
the
Bernhard.
difference
You
between
did.
our two picks are they've both played on the Champions Tour. Phil Mickelson has not played on the Champions Tour.
Well, like I said,
This is gonna
I
be.
said Bernhard.
Well, you're
before.
allowed to go with Bernhard. We
Yeah,
can both pick the
I
same
was
person.
just searching out. Phil wasn't allowed.
This might be like a. This might be contradictory because they're only like a month or so apart. But like, I wouldn't count Phil as a vet pick, but I would count Furyk as a vet pick.
Oh, you're an asshole.
But like, it's just crazy. Like Phil's in a different class of his own. Like the I don't think you can like. It's not cool to pick Phil for that. Like, because he's won there 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, you need some longer shots. You know. I would say you could pick Els, but he refuses to come back.
Yeah.
Big easy.
Would you consider Stuart Sink in that conversation?
If I'm being honest, I don't know how old he is.
I think he's mid-40s. I don't know either, though.
What
Well,
was
whatever. We'll say Jimmy won
What
Bernhard because he said Bernhard
Sandy
earlier.
Lau? What was his story? Was he? Let me look this up. I feel like
Do we got any ideas
ahead.
of people that are like getting hyped in this that are just going to implode? Like guys that are just like, man, like someone would probably say it about Rory. Like, yeah, Rory, he's in great form right now, but he's going to go out and shoot a 79 on the first day. Like,
See, I think if there's a day Rory's going to blow up, it's going to be Sunday. I think
Oh,
he's going to
that's
be
right.
nails the first 3 days, and then, like, the pressure's going to get on, like, oh, shit, I could get the fucking Grand Slam. And then he's going to be like, fuck, there it goes. Now I don't care. Like, he,
do we think that like, do we think that's enough to rattle Rory though? Do we think Rory doesn't have like enough ice in his veins and not like that's what's getting to him? Like I
don't know what's getting to him,
I
but
think
it's happened a few times.
I think it's reasonable to say that nowadays, like the
And
comfort level that he's at, the amount he's achieved in his career, like I don't think this stuff gets to him now.
And it might be the Masters that he nearly won early on in his career and he collapsed. Like, that could be just what's haunting him, you know, on Sunday at the Masters. Like, am I going to do this again? Like, really? Like, you know?
Yeah, but that's like how I would think about it when I'm like that. But I'm not Rory, man. Rory's a different beast.
Well, you're acting, yeah, exactly. You're acting like he's not human, but he is, you know? Everyone has those thoughts that run through their brain.
And think about what we were saying about Rory, just like last year. He wasn't feeling good.
I mean,
He wasn't the talk of everything.
he definitely
know,
wasn't in the same form he is this year.
He's hot this year, and so he's on top of conversation.
But he was a strong betting favorite last year too. Because at the end of the day, like it's about history at Augusta, and Rory has great history here. He has some like really heartbreaking moments here, but like you can say the same about Spieth. Like Spieth has had his collapses with Willett. He got edged out by Bubba that one year too. Like the fact of the matter is that like we talk about how Spieth might be the best Masters champion when he's done with his career, have the most green jackets. Like, but he's had just as many heartbreaks as Rory's had. But we look at him differently
Yeah,
because
Yeah, we
he got
do.
it done.
that's feels.
But like, I think Rory, I don't think it would be crazy for us in 2023 to like say like, yeah, Rory's got 2 green jackets. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I
hope.
think with Rory, like, yeah, once he rattles off one, the dominoes could just start falling, you know. But who knows? All I know is that
we haven't talked about the big game hunter Brooksy.
Ah,
He,
I love Brooks, and he's like, but after Ricky, he's my favorite golfer, and yeah, I mean, it's a major. He's gonna come to play, you know that.
is him missing it last year from an injury gonna be like hurting him? You don't think he can?
In 17, he finished well.
Yeah. No, I mean, the guy shows up at majors. Like, I think that's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna be in the mix come the weekend. If he's gonna win, I don't know. He teed 11 and 17.
Yeah. Are we worried that the weight loss is gonna hinder his performance? Shedding 26 pounds for a photo shoot, supposedly.
I don't know, man. He could put that fucking weight back on if he wants to, I'm sure.
I just want him in peak form for Pebble.
Yeah, I want him to go three
giant
peat.
ham
Yeah.
swinging a golf club.
Yeah. But, I mean,
I mean, we haven't talked at all about DJ, really.
Well, what is there to say?
You can't really ever count him out.
I think he's gotten progressively a lot better at Augusta. Like, I think you don't really think about him when you think about Augusta, but he kind of...
The year I was really thinking about him was when he had those 3 back-to-back wins. Not last year, but the year before, and then he fell down the steps.
2017.
Everyone
yeah.
was like, "Yeah, Dustin Johnson's gonna win the Masters. He won 3 in a row. He's gonna just go to Augusta and fucking win Augusta."
And he
Like,
could have. Yeah, he
yeah.
might have.
It was like he was unstoppable then,
And if we're being honest, that would have been the win that we wanted,
Stairs.
not the Surge win.
yeah, fucking yeah.
I like Serge.
I don't.
I like
I'm
Serge.
not a very big
He's an
Sergio
awesome
hater
man.
either. I like the
He's
fire
here.
within the Spaniards.
Oh yeah,
When he starts
he's a
destroying courses and
temperamental-
stuff, though, that's when it kind of draws the line, or I draw the line a little bit. But yeah,
I was rooting for Rosie in that. I wanted it bad for him. I think Rosie should have way more majors than he does. Him and Dustin both are much better players than their major track records will show. I think the fact of the matter is that like Bubba has more majors than him. Like I think Zach Johnson has more majors than him. Like Justin Rose should have more majors than he has, and it makes me sad that he doesn't. Like
He's got a ways to go though. He's still got golf to play.
I mean, he's in his late 30s. He's like 36 or 37.
he's in his prime of his career
what I
right
was-
now. As
yeah,
far
He's
as
playing his
for
best
him.
golf.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it doesn't mean like
He's
he's got
got
a
a
ton of
ways to
time
go.
left to play his best
no,
golf.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like he's playing his best golf of his career right now.
Yeah.
He's got what? 8
It's
to
the
10
Hanmas
years?
though, man. It's the Hanmas.
Yeah, whatever that.
That
eater-
little mole, the little mole badger. That
It-
thing is channeling through him.
You got to use the right equipment if you're trying to play well. Whatever that damn commercial is that he is in. That's
Yeah.
What they say.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I know he made the switch not because of their clubs, but because he wanted to be able to play whatever putter he wanted. I read that recently. Is like he wanted to be able to choose whatever putter he wanted. He didn't want to be stuck with TaylorMades or anything else.
Huh.
Which is kind of weird. Just like he was just playing incredibly. Like it was like
Yeah.
I thought it was like for money, but apparently it was a putter.
I think he's still using the same putter he was using though.
I don't know.
At least it looks the same.
He was playing like the
He still
mallet
has
red
that
one, wasn't he?
Big ass fucking green grip though.
I don't remember it.
Either way, so let's just try to, summarize this a little bit as far as if you're gonna place some bets. So we all know, or I don't know if I know. You want Rory to win, you said, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just
Both
Well, you said
guys want-
Spieth and Tiger.
I want.
He thinks Rory's
going
gonna win.
Oh,
Rory's
okay.
going to win. I'd like for Spieth or Tiger to win.
Okay, so Spieth or Tiger.
I
Kid
don't think
wants
either's
Rory or
belongs to me.
Tiger, or Hovland.
I'm about history. I'm
Yeah.
about something awesome happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rooting for a Grand Slam. I'm rooting for the arguably the greatest sports comeback of all time if Tiger won another major.
Mm-hmm.
Hovland, I mean that just being like has a
Like,
Has a
what's up?
rookie-
I'm here.
Am ever won the Masters? That's the question. Is like I don't think that was Tiger's rookie season at the Masters. I think he played it as an Am before that
In '96.
in '96.
Yeah.
So like
That's what I was saying.
this would be
earlier.
Hovland's first time at the Masters, and he would be reigning US Am.
Yeah, I just don't think the odds are in his favor for doing that.
Well, I'm not saying he's going to win it. I'm just saying like I'm rooting for storylines here.
Yeah,
Like,
I understand what you're saying.
so I mean, coming to me, I think Rory's going to win it. I want Rory to win it, and then I have a couple other storylines that would be sick. But
Yeah.
and I'd be happy for you if Ricky won it,
Yeah. I mean, that obviously, I want Ricky to win.
and I'd be happy for Rick.
Ricky deserves a major. The dude's fucking insane at golf, and he deserves a fucking major. That's just what I think. And I'd like it to be the Masters. I think the Masters is the coolest major. I think it just means a little more when you have a green jacket.
I think the Masters might be the most overrated major.
That's your take. You're allowed to have, man. I
That
think
doesn't mean
I think
that doesn't mean it's the worst one. I still like it more than the PGA, but I just think it's by far the most overrated overrated major.
Why?
One, you have a really selected field, so it's not even like you have less guys you have to beat, And I think it has a lot going for it. It has all the tradition and the history and Bobby Jones, and the venue's so sick, and
The
like
rich history.
it's got a lot of pageantry going on
Yeah,
that you got to get
definitely.
behind.
And every single player's like, and the rich history.
I do like Augusta, how they handle it from like a broadcasting and like the production and like all the in-depth interviews and like everything that goes on around it is really cool. And I think it has a lot going for it in that element. Like, but I think as far as like a golf tournament is concerned, like
Well, there's got to be one of them.
it also helps that like they have the same venue every year, so like everyone knows the course intimately.
Yeah.
Like
That's
There's
why I
memory
like
there.
it. Like you know what
Nostalgia
you're
like
getting.
a
It's like my
mofo.
favorite golf week of the year. Like
but if I'm being honest, like do I enjoy watching them play like the old course for an open or like honestly Shinnecock last year was sick.
yeah, it was.
Like Pebble will be sick this year too. Like I honestly think if the right leaderboard presents itself, like I might enjoy the golf at those venues more and like the golf that goes on there more.
Well, yeah.
But the thing is that like I'm just so overwhelmed by like all the shit outside of the course at Augusta, that, like all the history and like that stuff amplifies it more because they get to go to the same place. They get to
Yeah.
have all these things they can lean into. So
that's what I mean. There's got to be one. You know, there's got to be somewhere that.
yeah,
I mean that's
that
the only
has that-
major that goes
that-
to the same place.
I know, and I think it has a lot going for it outside of like the actual play.
Yeah.
So I think it's overrated. I don't think it's bad. I honestly, I
see
might
what
get,
you mean, though.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I think I think I
Other
like
tournaments could
the
be
Open a
more
little bit
exciting.
more. I think I like the Open traditionally a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I like watching Links golf a lot though because it's a lot more like ground game and like them like I don't know. It's not the same kind of golf. I feel like Augusta can be very. I don't know. I feel like it's played the same by a lot of people, and I feel like the Open venues have people playing differently more often,
Yeah, I mean you definitely get
more
you know,
divert, and you
diverse golf, and anyone can win it more. At the
yeah,
Open,
and
you
like
know?
Try some stuff. And
like back to our point about how like it fit
Get a
like
little
Augusta
crazy.
Ferries like favors like a draw
Mhm.
off the ball for a right hander, or like a lot of lefties win it. Like that course really isn't fair for everyone. Like, and I think you get a better test and a better equal playing field for more people at other venues.
Yeah.
Like I love the Masters. I love Augusta, and it's definitely my favorite week to watch golf because it's always consistently a great week for golf.
Mm-hmm.
And like I can't pretend like I loved watching like Aaron Hills for the US Open, but things didn't go great for the USGA there. They didn't get the weather they wanted. They wanted to blow more. So I think I'm going to be pleased with a Masters week always, and I think that's something great that you can count on it. It's consistent. But the peaks just aren't quite what I want them to be there sometimes.
And I think
Yeah.
a lot of it has to do with the final on Sunday who's in the mix and stuff like that. Like you can't argue that last year watching Jordan make the run he
Oh,
did
it was
like
sick.
it was insane.
And that's what you want too, because you had a hero and a villain, which
Yeah.
was sick.
Yeah, fuck Patty Reed. And that bullshit lucky ass break he got on 13.
Yeah, we're just stuck in the hillside.
Yeah.
And then Jordan just
If that
catching the
ball-
tree branch
if
too.
that ball would have gotten in the water, Rick would have been the damn champ, son.
No, but just to get back to it, like I love the Masters. Like I think it's overrated, but that doesn't change that it's like a fucking amazing event. And
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, like I'm glad it's a major. I'm glad we go back there every year. It's probably my second favorite major, but I think we're all drinking the Masters Kool-Aid pretty hard for this event.
Yeah, I like.
And I'm happy to do it,
Yeah,
but-
I love to do it.
I think it
Fun
I think it
rally.
gets a lot of unnecessary praise sometimes.
I think it's a fun
I can
rally.
see that point
and
of view
it's
for sure.
It's a good little. Yeah, I mean, if you're not into golf, you could. It's a time where people start to be, get into golf because.
Yeah, I think the
lot of
Masters is
people-
definitely a tournament where like you can talk to someone that's not necessarily really into golf, and they're like, "Oh, the Masters is
Yeah.
this week. Oh, cool."
It's like, oh, the
you know?
Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah,
I at
exactly.
least
I mean,
watch
it's
that.
always the highest rated, like
Right.
televised golf event because
Right.
of that reason. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact of the matter is that Anwa that just went on the women's amateur there
Mhm.
was the highest rated women's amateur event ever, and it actually might be the highest rated amateur event ever in golf.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it lying right before the Masters definitely helped.
Oh,
you
I
know?
think and just Augusta itself. Augusta people like it just shows how much pull Augusta like
just-
a course has.
Yeah.
Just-
Like you could have
Yeah.
you could have a senior event where you only took people in their 70s out there, but they're playing Augusta, right? Yeah, I'll tune in.
Yeah.
Well, that's
we'll
like
see what
Brandon,
happens.
for instance. Like he you know, we don't have to say everything he said, but like the only reason he was really tuning into the women's event was because it was at Augusta, you know.
Yeah, I don't think he would have tuned in otherwise.
No.
But I will say, honestly, like, watch college golf. It's sick. Like, like seriously, like when they play the NCAA championships,
match
like
play format is a lot more entertaining. Anyways.
yeah, and the team element's sick. It's just like watching the Ryder Cup, but they're schools. Like, it's not exactly the same, but like, it's really fiery, man. It's sweet. Like watching OSU win it last year and Matthew Wolf clinching the winning point for them was fucking awesome. Like, and the same can be said for the women, man. And like, Cup Show's a baller. Fosse's a baller. Like, that final grouping was sick. The back nine was gnarly. Like, her approach on 13, and they were just sending it back and forth, man.
Yeah, I mean,
eagle, birdie, birdie, birdie. Like,
it was definitely a good match. There's no doubt about that.
and I just think like I wouldn't put it all on like Augusta, which made that entertaining. Like,
No, not at all. I mean, they had to play good golf, and they did.
yeah,
But it definitely helped with the ratings. And
yeah,
it's
it wouldn't have happened at any other event like that.
No.
It's unfortunate that it fell during.
I mean, there's a reason.
the other major event for them.
Why Augusta's ratings are so good every year. You know,
Yeah, I mean, it's the Super Bowl's not always the best game of the year.
but it gets the highest ratings.
Best
It's the same
yeah.
same concept.
Yeah,
Just is what it is. You know, it's almost like the climax of the season. You know, the culmination of what everybody's trying to get that bit of fame. Green jacket.
Well, yeah, boys.
Fun
This is
stuff.
Fucking awesome. Good first podcast with the boys.
Yeah.
Debut.
Yeah.
Pre-Masters. I think we're going to try to do one sometime after the Masters, maybe Sunday evening, get it out on that Monday, or maybe Monday, get it out on that Tuesday, and see how everything plays out. But yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see if Rory can take it home for you, kid, and we'll see if the boy Jordan and Rory maybe, and we'll see if my boy Ricky can do it.
Oh, Rick.
well,
I'm putting some stacks down on Rick.
Let's do it.
well, cool. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, it was good times,
All right.
boys.